this segment, we'll be giving you the step-by-step instructions on how to change your headlight, signal light, tail lights on your vehicles. We will tell you what size of replacement bulbs are needed and what tools are required for this application. The most important part of any service or work you do to your vehicle is to use the proper tools and work easily and not force anything. Watch the video carefully and follow the step-by-step instructions. Review the video as many times as you need to be sure and confident in your ability. With that, let's get started with today's application. From us here at Autobody Tips, thank you and enjoy the video.
Today's application will need a number 20 Torx screwdriver and a fiber stick for prying. For this 2005 Grand Cherokee Laredo, the lights are a 9006 HB4, 51 watt low beam, a 9005 HB3 60 watt high beam, a 3157 amber, a 3157K clear, and a 194 push-in bulb. We're going to remove the left-hand headlight in this Jeep Cherokee, but both sides are the same in this vehicle. It starts by actually nice and simple, just prying up on this and it just lifts right out of there. There is two tabs here and two cert clips that lock in here, so it just slides under and locks back down. Let's have a look at these lights back here in the access. Let's start by looking at our high beam light. The high beam is the one that's towards the inside of the vehicle, and that twists out counterclockwise. Let's just twist that out of there. And it gives us enough access to lift that right out of there and have a look at it. This high beam light here is a 9005 HB3U. This light has 60 watts of power. Let's just unplug that off of there. Well, for that we will need the fiber stick. We have to pry these two small tabs up and then gently pull back on the light. This releases it. This bulb is still good, so now that I've showed you how to disconnect it and what size that bulb is, always wipe it nice and clean, just in case you touch it with your hands. Get the oils off there. The oils from your fingers will make the life of the bulb shorter. So we'll just clip that back into place. There it is. And then it goes back down into the light. And this only goes in one way only. And just clips back in, just like that. Here's our low beam. It's to the outside of the vehicle. By just reaching in behind our rad support, like so, turning that out counterclockwise, and just wiggling it out, and then bringing it up, like so. Giving yourself enough room to do it, and just gently prying back on those little tabs again. Switch hands. That gently comes off like that. This light here is a 9006 HB4, and this light here has 51 watts of power. Let's get that hook back up and put back into its place. Just nice and firm, put back in. Always take a cloth, wipe it off, just in case you touched it, clean it up. And then slide it back in. And there it is. Our signal marker lamp is down here. This turns out counterclockwise also, and just pulls out. Like so. We can just lift this right up top like this, giving us access to our bulb. This here is just a push-in bulb, and this here is a 3157A amber bulb. It's still good, so we'll get that back in there. And always remember, clean it up. Bulb goes in one way and one way only. And turn it clockwise to lock it into position. For our marker lamp here on the side, this poses to be a little bit more of a problem. This bulb in here is a 195 push-in bulb. Now, on the inside of our fender here, we have an access door. That's where our pry stick comes in, our fiber stick, and that just opens up like so. Now, you have to reach down in here and you'll feel a black retainer. It is, you just turn that counterclockwise and that releases your light to bring it out. Now, I'm just going to reach in there. Well, hopefully the camera can follow us in a little ways, but use your best judgment here. And go, and that just turns out of there, like so. And there it is. That is a 195 push-in bulb. And that just pushes back into its socket. But you can see the squares and how it lines up. And there's a black retainer around it. That gives me not much access to show you. But you just hang on to that black retainer and you turn it back in. So let's get that put back in. Here you might have. If you look closely when you're reinstalling the bulb, you can see it in there. It's quite difficult to see. Just take your time. You will find where it goes, and then it just locks itself back into place. You'll know when it goes into place. You can feel it go in. And then closing our access door back up. Let's put the top back on our headlamp up top. Okay, taking our top of our light, it just slides underneath these two retainers and just clips back down into place. And that's all there is to it. Let's get around to the back and have a look at it. Here's our taillight on this vehicle here. There's probably retainer clips here and number 20 Torx is on the inside. Let's get started and let's get this light out. For this application here, we're going to need our number 20 Torx screwdriver. And we have one screw here and one here. Let's take these out and pull that light out. Set those off just here for safekeeping. Support your light so it doesn't fall out on you. And then holding your light about here and just lift it out gently. And then wiggle it out nice and easy, just like that. Right here's our retainers, and here's our retainer clips. That's what was holding it into the quarter panel, and our Torx number 20 screws here. And here we want to remove our wiring harness so we can set the lamp down and have a look at it. Right here we have a clip that's holding the wiring harness onto the bottom of the light. And just using the fiber stick, just work it out gently. And here we have to depress this here and just wiggle that off. Just set that here like so. Okay, let's have a look at these bulbs. Okay, here on each side of our taillight are two clips. We have to depress these clips in, then our light just lifts out and just pulls apart. So easy. This here's a 3157K. That's a clear bulb. All three of these bulbs in the back of our Grand Cherokee are the same. So we're going to leave those other ones in. Just clip that one right back into place there. And then we want to wipe it clean. And it just clips right back in. There it is. Let's get our light back in. Okay, first of all, we're going to start by taking our plug, plugging it in only one way. You'll hear it clip in. That secures it. And then we want to take our blue clip here and just clip that back into the bottom of our light. And there it is. Then what we want to do is we want to come around and line up our two retainers here and here on our quarter panel and just push them in gently like that. And then we'll put in our two Torx number 20 screws. With your one hand supporting the light, just start your screws in by hand, giving them a couple turns so they don't fall out. And then turning them back in clockwise. Just gentle, you don't have to strip them out, just nice and firm. And there it is.